as well as try and let people in. There we go. Oh, come on, you can do it. There we go. Right, so there we go. Hopefully got everybody in now. Yeah, so I'm going to draw this at, so I'm going to take 5mm off there, so that makes it 20, and then I'm going to allow 5mm, I'm going to use a 10mm drill, so I'm going to take another 5mm off that. So I'm going to draw another circle, and just to be on the safe side, I'm going to reduce that by 11mm to 14mm. So that's my second circle going on, at 14mm. And that will give me enough space then so that I don't round for the holes. Right, keeping that at the same 14mm, just go on one of your diagonals and then put a mark there, I think, because that's where I'm going to drill one of the holes. Now this part here you need to be fairly accurate, so you do need to get this smack on that line-ish, and then mark off your radius all the way around, and it'll go around 6 times if the maths is about right. Last time I did this I was miles away, but I think I moved there we go. See, that's miles away as well. My compass has moved a little bit. There we go. So in every second one I'm going to make another mark, and this will give me the 120 degrees between the three sound chambers. That's better. That's one there. And there's the last one. And I'm going to mark that too. And what I'm going to do with the family drill, I'm just going to start my holes off. I've got there's about 2mm drill on here. Just going to start those holes off, just enough to let the brad point on my 10mm drill get into them, so that they don't, because if you have them, I'll show you a fail in a minute, but so then you're going to drill, take it over the drill press, or you can do this by hand quite easily. It's, you know, the critical bit is about here. Down the bottom it doesn't make any difference. So here's one I prepared earlier, and this is drilled to one hole is 80mm, if I can find it, so that's 80mm. Then one's at 75 and the other's at 50. Okay, so that'll give me my 3 tones. I'll show you a fail if I can find it here. This one I've drilled, this hole here ended up way outside that circle. So when I come to cut the tone holes on the side here, this one will end up huge before I've even started cutting some of these. So it's a good idea if you know, if you have that, I'd call that a fail. I don't know what else you could use that. You could probably cut it in half and make an ordinary whistle. But so that's that. So before I do anything else, I'm going to make the cap to fit on. So I'm going to make something like that. So let me clear away this lot because we don't need that anymore. Right, so yes, I don't need that in there at the moment. So this is a piece of Zebrano which I've already made one mouthpiece out of it, so I'm just going to, that's no good at all, is it? He says. Making that as best I can. Right, so I'm now going to make the mouthpiece. That's it for this. I'm going to bring up the tailstock. I'm just using a cone live center here. I think I'll use a smaller rest. So I'm just going to take this back to round. Else if you turn things on. Is that enough light there? Can everybody see that all right? I have got a little bit more light if we need it. Is that any better? Okay, that'll do. Lovely. So I'm just going to take that around. That's good enough. And I'm just going to just make sure I've got a sort of fairly flat side on here. That's good enough. And then I'm going to just make that flat at the bottom. It was really sad to hear about Mark Baker. I learned a lot from his demonstrations and also from speaking with him on several occasions. So I was really sad to hear. Okay, this is just a spindle gouge just to take that little nub out the bottom there. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to clear a hollow in here. So what I want to do is, if I get my tailstock out of the way, is for my spindle gouge to go in dead on centre. And I'm going to use it, the flute open at about 10 o'clock. And I'm just going to push it gently in there and then move it out. And I'm creating a sound chamber here which is sort of semicircular. And I just want to put the mortise on there now as well. And I'm looking at about 2.5 mil, no more than that. Remember, I've only allowed 5 mil in the setting up. There we go. So I've got about 2.5 mil on the outside and then another 2.5 mil on the inside as for the tenon to go against. Now I'm going to put a bit of shape into this. You want something to blow into, so I'm going to remove quite a bit of material from the outside, and I'm also going to drill a 10 mil hole through, so that when we do start blowing, the air's got somewhere to go. So I'll do that next. Oh, people, yes they are. I've got a couple there. There we go. That's it. Hopefully they're in. Sorry about that, guys, if you're joining a bit later, but I'm sort of a one-man band at the moment. My computer operator's indoors watching Corrie or something, I think. Yes, I'm about to drill a 10 mil hole in here. That's it. And it only needs to be about 25 mil long to blow into, nothing too excessive. And now I'm going to go down to about, I don't know, just 50 mil or so. Anyway, as long as I don't go all the way through to my chamber. And then I'm going to put a bit of shape on there against the spindle gouge. I'm going to try and follow that curve on the inside of the a bit more, I think. Alright, that should be far enough. Just feel what I've got. I've probably got a couple of mil, 3 mil, maybe a bit more on the inside there. So I can now afford to take that down too. I won't take it down to its final dimension just yet. I will now cut it off. If I can find my... There it is. And I'll cut it off here, and then we'll start on the other piece. There we go. So that will form our mouthpiece eventually. So I'll just leave that up there. So I can get rid of this. I'll find my tools. I'll keep that because I may need to reverse chuck that a little bit later. Actually, I could do that now, couldn't I? No, I'll do it later. Right, lost me block that is. So I'm going to mount this between centres using a stab centre in the chuck. I spend half my time looking for bits and pieces in my workshop I should put down. Okay. And I'm going to do it so that these holes here are to my tailstock, and that way when I make a chucking point here, I can fit the mouthpiece onto that end. Right, just change the rest. So this is the most interesting bit, because I'm going to turn this around now, which every good demonstrator does apparently. I've got my lathe speed around about 2000 to start off with, just to get rid of these corners. I'm going to take it down just shy of my 50 mil circle I put on the outside there. And I'm going to put a pen at the top here. And again, just about a 50mm tenon. So that can go into the chuck now. And just find that center again. There we go. And then tighten it up. What I'm just going to mark on the outside, just temporarily, is my maximum depth. So I know it's about 80mm, so I'll remove that from my 80mm. Because anything I do down this other end here, I don't want to go any deeper than I need to. So that's where my deepest hole sits, in there. Right, so I'll just get this back onto, finish making it round. And so that I'm just taking my line off. So this end here needs to be dead square, so that we can fit the mouthpiece on. So I'm going to take that off there now and see how much more material. So you've got lots to come off there now. So what you don't want to do is, if I can show you on another one, is when you fit your mouthpiece, it doesn't block any of these holes, because the critical part of these holes, oops, where am I? Doesn't block any of these holes. The critical part is on the outside, where you're going to fit a thing called a fipple, F-I-P-P-L-E. These are fipple type whistles, like a recorder sort of thing, but without the fingering holes. So it's a fipple. So I'm just going to take this down now so I can sort of get that on there. So I've got quite a way to go. Just bring that for now. And it's only a couple of mil, it's not very much. Need to go another couple of mil. I'm using the tail support here just for a bit of safety. And just got about another millimetre or two. Ooh, that's just about there. How about that then, eh? That was a bit of fortune. Now you could finish it off now if you wanted to at this point in time to get that all squared up. Again, you can bring a bit of pressure, don't put too much, you don't want to split that. And then we'll just take it down to a tiny bit more. That's fine. So that'll be the finished shape of the whistle anyway. I'm going to do minimum sanding tonight because I can't turn my extractor on because of the noise it makes. It's situated literally about 3 feet to my right hand side, so it makes rather a lot of noise. So I won't do any sanding. I'm sure you all know how to sand and finish off. I would suggest that you may want to use some sort of food safe oil on this, but give in mind you're going to be blowing into it. And also you just might want to finish off now this mouthpiece. Find a small. So I'm going to put a little bit of a detail in the top here. Nothing too much, just round it over so you don't hurt yourself, and then just put a little bit of tiniest cove in here just to get your lips around it. Yeah. And again, you don't want to go, remember it's only a 10mm hole there, so if you take this too narrow, you're going to end up with a little tiny ring at the end of it and nothing to blow into. And of course it's still quite rough inside there where I drilled it out, so but you can finish that off later on. So that's for the first part. The next thing is we're going to cut some holes. Where's my whistle gone? Oh no, there it is. We're going to cut this groove here all the way around down until we're just showing the little holes we've drilled. So remember, we've got 10mm holes going down here, 3 different lengths. I've got 80, 75, 65 and 50. And if you get, what my mistake was, if you drill too near, if I want to go hole, this hole went off centre and it's quite close to where I want to put the cap, then you end up having a great big hole. Well, it's gone now. You end up having a great big hole here and hardly anything in these two, so that chamber won't work then. So it is quite critical that you get those fairly accurate. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure down about, I don't know, 12mm or so from the top of the thing. It could be 10 to 12mm, and then beyond that another 12mm, and that's where I'm going to cut the channel. So I'll just mark that. Right, let's find my tool. Right, I'm going to cut down with a thin parting tool, not all the way to the holes, because I'd rather do that with a spindle gouge in the end to finish off with a spindle gouge. But I'm just going to start it off anyway. It'll give me somewhere to go to. So just on the line, I'm going to go in. You'll feel as you hit the holes, you'll feel it vibrating against the tip of your parting tool. So I'll stop it there for now. And I'm going to take a spindle gouge, and I'm going to go in and make a slope 45 degrees back towards the top of the thing. So just going to go in, flute is fully closed here, and I'm just going to go in like that. Yeah, there's hardly any movement on. Oops, there you go. The first catch of the evening. And then same again, I'm just going to go straight down. Right, we're getting near to the holes now. If we haven't, oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3 holes. I've found that the size is pretty immaterial. It's or how deep you actually go. So long as you haven't gone more than 50% of the way through your 10mm, so they're about 4mm. There is a chance to adjust it in a minute, but I'll just make that slightly shallower here and also get rid of my catch. try something smaller. There we go. Yep, thereabout. There will be some little fuzzies in there which you clearly going to have to get rid of at a later time. Bit of sandpaper down inside. And that's pretty much as far as I'd like to go with this. You've got 3 10mm holes down there. I've made a mouthpiece which we'll finish off in a minute. And then we're going to put a bit of shape in the base of this while we're here. I'll just mark that 81 again. Yeah. So my bottom hole is there, so I'm just going to give myself at least another 5mm or so beyond that. And I'm going to put some shape into that. Really suppose it depends on how long a piece of wood you start with. I've used some bit longer and put a little bow, a little round bit at the end. So these I tend to put a nice round bottom onto them. There we go. So the next thing is we're going to try and see if we can tune these up a little bit. So I'm going to take that out of there for now. It's a good fit on that. So I need to get a little bit of sandpaper down inside these holes so that we can just clear away those fuzzy bits. So I'm going to take a little bit of 240 and just scrunch it up a little bit. The last thing you want to do is lose your sandpaper down the hole. So it prove quite difficult to get out. You could put this in a piece of dowel if you wanted to as well, just super glue it in. But I find this is just as easy. So all I've done is put the paper in, and I'm just trying to get rid of those fuzzies on the side of the thing. A craft knife also, you can use that just to clear them up. They're difficult ones, these, they don't want to come out. Yeah, we'll call that there. Right, so to tune this, I get a whole lot of hardwood dowels, and I'm using beech dowels because they're the only ones I could get off eBay. These are 10mm, and for some unknown reason, that's a lovely 10mm hole. These 10mm dowels are like 9.5 one direction and 10.5 the other, so you will need to put them in a chuck and just sand them down a little bit. I mean, it's not stopping you making your own dowels anyway, it's a simple enough task. But I get those, they're 10 centimeters long. I cut them in half, and then I mark with a pencil about the top 25%, so the top quarter. I'm just going to, because that's what I'm going to cut away in a minute. And about halfway down, I'm going to get a little saw, and again I'm going to cut halfway down. Oh, that's it now. I've lost it completely. Yeah, sorry, quarter of the way down. A bit more. And then if you've got a rotary sander or something like that, you can sand that flat, that bit there. Failing that, just got a craft knife or a Stanley knife. There we are. And then you're just going to go down to that first quarter. So you're taking away the material off a quarter. The length, you want it to be longer than the distance between the top. Where's my thing gone? I've dropped it on the floor somewhere. There it is. Yeah. It's got to be longer than that. The flat has to be longer than that because we need to be able to blow into there. So. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'll be there in a minute. The critical bit is this bit right at the very end here. Some people say you should have these fipples slightly sloping that way. It doesn't make any difference. It's the bit at the end here which allows the air to pass through past these little chambers we've cut. If I can find the right way of getting shown here. There. So at least that last little bit needs to be fairly flat. Bit of sandpaper again. If you've got a disc sander or something, you can shove it on there. Right, I've taken just less than 25% away. So what I do now is I'm going to push it into the hole here until it comes flush with the bottom of this top bit here. Where am I going? Where am I going? There it is. Yeah, so you can just see that pencil line coming through on there. And hold it in that position. You need to put your mouth around the hole and see if it whistles. Not very good. Try the other ones. Because each of these slots will be slightly different. So that one works. So I'd leave that one for there. I'll come around to this one. And that one works as well. So go back to the one that didn't work. So you might need to adjust your fipple just a little bit to get those on there. So I can take a little bit more off, or try another one and don't take so much off the top here. Yeah. So that's tuning your fipple, if you like. So I know two of those work quite well. I've got one I've been playing with all day, so I've been tuning that up. It does take a little bit of time to cut these three off. And then what you do, you're going to glue them into place. So these have been sat in the glue for about 4 or 5 hours now. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just going to test, because it's a point of no return now. So if it doesn't work now, then you know you've pretty much ruined it. So I've got 3 tones in there. So the next thing is we're going to cut those fipples off because we don't need the adjusting bits. So again, just taking a pull saw here, and I'm going to cut them flush. There we go. So that's what you're left with. And there are a little bit of fuzzies in there, which you can get out with a craft knife or something like that. But that's what you're left with. And the next bit is we're going to put our cap in there. Unfortunately, the one I made here won't fit on this one, but see. So final test. Oh, excuse me. Wood dust coming out of them. Ecky thump. Yes. Right, this is one I made earlier today, and you can see this was a bit longer, so I managed to put sort of a bit of decoration at the end here. And this is a 4-tone whistle. And what I did was, instead of marking 120 degrees, what I did was I used the diagonals, drilled I think these are 12mm dowels in this one, and then I should get 4 tones. Tastes horrible. Okay, so now you're happy with that, you want to get your top that you made. Okay, so this is a cherry top I made for this one, and you can glue that into place. There we are. And then I would probably put a food safe oil finish on this, having sanded it down and finished it all off. Got rid of the fuzzies at the end there, and there's plenty of them in there. But then all 4 chambers should sound now. So there's a 4-tone whistle, or a 3-tone whistle, depends how you use it. As I say, these are 12mm, I've used 10mm, I've got a 9mm one over here somewhere. There's all my 9mm in. He's gone. No, I've lost him. I got one with 9mm. They all seem to work. Let me get rid of that. They all seem to work sort of fairly straightforwardly, and that's it. So that was a bit quicker than I thought it was. Sorry, I don't know if you keep me on too late tonight. But as I say, these would now be glued on to the top, having finished it off. Here's the one we made. Where's the one we made earlier? I've lost that now. Oh, there we go. So that would be it. So I would now have to put my 3. Let's bring the camera back. Yeah, I would need to put obviously the 3 fipples in there and then glue that on, having tuned it, and then I can remount it now and then finish it all off. Yeah, just cut the base off, bit of sanding on there, and away you go. Now this is slightly different than if you ever made a single tone whistle. You know that you can't use this method of cutting it into here, because you end up cutting the whole of your top off, and you have to cut that first before you turn it round to make a single tone whistle. Has anybody got any questions on that? Ooh, that was good. Anyone want to see any of that again? You understand? Yeah, it was really quick, that, less than 45 minutes. How about that for a demonstration? Yeah. Well, I just made a sort of a judgment call, say 15mm difference between each hole, only because that's the deepest hole I can get with my pillar drill is 80mm. So I chose 80mm, 65mm, and then 50mm on my three holes. Yeah, and I guess you could get, you know, an app that has a tuner and you could adjust them. There's a lot of things in play here. Of course, the thickness of the wood, the type of wood, all affects the tone. And the depth of hole clearly affects the pitch. Yeah, but as I say, the type of wood, the amount of material you've got on the inside here and between the holes, that all matters in terms of what sort of tone you get out of these. Yeah. Yeah, I believe there is. I mean, I've seen people make these whistles, but drill right the way through, and then put like a piston in the bottom, so you make a clanger style whistle then. Yeah, you see what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Sorry it was so short. I was expecting to take at least a couple of hours. No, I was expecting to take just over an hour to do this. But I guess because I haven't been finishing them tonight, it's a bit different. Cool. Wow. That was short and sweet. Sorry to keep you all up so late. I should have prepared something else, really, shouldn't I? I should have done a little bit of something else, but I didn't think it would be that quick, to be fair. It takes a lot longer when you do it by yourself in the garage. I suppose that's because you get interrupted all the time. Yeah. Good stuff. That's excellent, yeah. Yeah. Lovely. That's good. Right, Stowe. Yeah. I shall. Yeah, no, you're more than welcome. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you again. I'm trying to do one a month, and it goes out on YouTube as well, so I will sort of edit it afterwards and get rid of all the bits and pieces. The thing about YouTube is at the moment I can't get the Zoom audio onto YouTube, so I have to take out all the chat at the end. I'm sure there's a way. Somebody did show me a way, but it didn't seem to work on my PC. I think my little laptop is maxing out with all the video inputs on it, so no, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, roll on having demos back in the clubs, eh? That's it. Yeah. No, it doesn't. So I'm planning on doing at least one of these a month certainly until after Christmas, anyway, until our clubs get back on our feet again. I mean, I think our club is hoping to have some sort of fete to go to at Christmas, but that's looking less and less likely at the moment. Maybe Chris can answer that one. Can you, Chris Davis? No. Is John Plum with us tonight? No. John sent out an email saying that we were looking at doing a Christmas fair at Redgrave, or is that still on? Or right, okay. Yeah, oh, that's a shame, because that would have been sort of at least breaking the ice for us. But and I'm sure all the other clubs are just in the same boat as we are. Certainly, Berwick and Edmonds are. I don't know what it's like at Norwich and Waveney, and so. Have we got anybody here? Sorry. Oh, Darren. Oh, Dave. Sorry. All right. Yeah. I'm cheaper than Darren. Not as good though. Yes, of course you can. Yeah, I'd be delighted. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, I was supposed to have been at Lincoln back in April, and that got cancelled. And then Sudbury in June, I think, and that was cancelled, of course. So I haven't been able to get out to see some of these clubs at all, so, which is a shame, because they're quite nice to meet people and change things and discuss things. I am definitely Suffolk. Yeah. I mean, Diss is right on the border, Suffolk, Norfolk, but Diss is Suffolk, but yeah, only just. Yeah. I think it sits just about on the border. Say again, Chris? Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me. I'll try and keep you a bit longer next time. Was that too rushed? I don't know. I never know if I'm rushing it, or if you're sort of getting the idea of what I'm doing or what. So it's a bit difficult. Yeah, well, I sort of set things up for about 6:45, and there were loads of people joined around 1:45ish. So by all means, I sort of opened the lines at about 1:45, and then just to let a bit of chatter and stuff amongst people, which is quite useful sometimes. Yeah. Anybody here from Lincoln? And anybody come from Lincoln at all? The Lincoln Club? No. I had one response from there, but obviously they haven't made it this evening. So. Well, I'll let you all get back to your TV or back into your sheds, or Corrie, is this? Deep joy. Yeah, that's right. Thanks very much. I should. Yeah, bye bye, Darren. Bye now. Okay, good night, everybody. I shall. Okay, bye now. Yeah. I'm watching you all drift away slowly. Yeah. Yeah. How's it going? I thought there was somebody from King's Lynn. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Yeah, no, I'll make sure I send one out each time. So. Who's that? No. All right. Thanks very much. All right. See you, bud. Who's that? Because I can hear you chatting. Who's chatting away? Oh, there you are. Can you hear me all right? Can you? I can see you. No? Did you manage to get in all right? Did you? Is that Alan? Am I? Yes, I got you now. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. Lovely. Nice and short, anyway. All right. All right. Bye, Alan. Bye now.